Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru, hello, hello, hello.
And it's the two of us guys. You know what that means? It is Steel Division Normandy 44 time. Rang, we have Pegasus Bridge. Who do we got?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Yuejin as the 3rd Armored Division, we've seen him quite a bit, and Carolus Rex as the 9th Panzer Division on the right-hand side.
You were kind of fanboying a little bit about Carolus Rex's choice over
Yeah.
here, but it wasn't because of the player. Tell me a little bit more about that.
No, I've been really enjoying seeing these 9th Panzer Divisions play quite a bit now. I honestly think it's such a wholesome deck because it doesn't have any of that chaff and it works really well. You can do so much in terms of your A phase opener for some tank spam, Panzer Grenadier half track plays, Spar Troop and some mortar half tracks, etc. and etc. It's a real versatile deck with a lot of good tools, and the tools are, they're solid, they work, nothing too fancy, but in the end of the day, you just need a dude, a rifle, and hopefully you can run a war. Many wars, Khan, have actually been run by dudes with rifles.
Really, I thought it was run by politicians sitting back at home, or at least that's what they would have you
No, no, no.
believe.
It's just guys with rifles. They just
Oh,
have.
okay.
It's a side that has more rifles and more guys with rifles that usually wins these wars. Then
So
World War
explain.
Two.
Wait. I gotta
Wait,
stop you
okay.
right there. So explain the Cold War.
Well, the Cold War, you see, is the Americans got rifles, and then the Russians got rifles, and the Russians sold air rifles everywhere, and the Americans got air rifles and sold it everywhere. When they both tried using their rifles, such as in Vietnam and Afghanistan, they both didn't work so well because they didn't want to use up all their rifles.
Well, there you have it, folks. The
It's a
Cold
really
War
quite a
explained
trifle.
in 30 seconds.
There's also the whole nuke thing in political, but I think it
Ah,
really
yeah,
just
yeah,
came
yeah,
down to
yeah, blah, blah,
rifles.
blah.
Yeah. So looking at the deployment, got the mortar three
Yeah.
off the bat. That is a damn good choice, especially
Mm-hmm.
considering how open this map is. Well, it
Mm-hmm.
seems like an American player. I'm not seeing a Sherman. It's all light
Half
armor,
tracks and
half
recons,
tracks.
really.
Yeah, an AT gun here and there. Especially surprising because, right, is Mr. War Daddy an A phase unit? The new third armored division
I
hero unit.
believe he is.
I think so too.
I
You're
believe he
you're gonna
is.
have to correct us in the comments because I completely forgot to be entirely honest. But anyway, you can still get Sherman and A phase potentially for the third armored as well as Stuart. But just seeing this light arm or just light vehicle play is very interesting, especially considering the
Interesting.
map.
But you say interesting, but at the same time, does that mean something to be concerned about? Because looking over at the
Uh,
German side of things, we have a couple of P1s, P2s hanging on end, so.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be getting the Mortar 3, it seems like it's going for more of a Panzer run, Panzer 2 assault. It's going to work pretty well considering there's no, Stuart or Sherman to really stop him. The
Hmm.
6 pounders, real, or 57mm guns in this case, will prove to be quite a bit of a nuisance in more open areas. But yeah, it's at a really interesting map, just looking at it. I mean, when's the last time we casted Pegasus Bridge?
I think we did a 2v2 on a little while
Yeah,
ago.
it's not something you see often. And before we get to the match, just you got this kind of town area in the middle, and some
Hmm.
good armor play up north and down south with much more breathing room compared to like St. Mary Eglise.
True. Very, very true. But we're off. So we have infantry from the American side going over to take the western side of that middle town.
Mm-hmm.
Germans pretty much matching the deployment, area for area here. What do you think? Germans take advantage in the north and the south and lose the center?
Uh, I don't know. I think it's gonna be the Americans are gonna have a real good, may probably have a pretty good time in that town because those armored rifles are
Hmm.
bloody good at CQC, and also the bazookas are gonna ward off half tracks or Panzer twos. That is so vital early on for your fire support town play for 9th Panzer. But I think on the flanks it's gonna be a little bit defensive from both sides, and most of the action may be coming in at the middle.
One thing I will have to disagree with you a little bit, though, is that we have ourselves a flamethrower coming on in, so that town looks more like it's going to be a giant weenie roast for the Americans.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, I forgot. They can get a knife panzer. They can get everything, including the bloody A-phase flamethrower unit, just not the flam panzer. But at least reversing it to the building. And there we go. Oh, Stern Pioneer. That is an interesting
Yes,
choice.
sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
that's a risky choice too, because you can only get 2 of them per card if like only 1 card available. So that's only 1 more Stern Pioneer to Ray, and that's very risky because you could either get the Stern Pioneers now or wait a phase and then get 1-star Pioneers and ×4 availability.
That's true. That's true. It looks like that's going to be where the major furball is going to happen, though. So Germans are able to take out a couple of half tracks already,
Mm-hmm.
breaking things to look tough, and it looks like that Panzer II is just going to try to give just enough fire suppression so that way the Stern Pioneers can come across. And
Yep.
yeah, they're going to
There
take
we go.
that building pretty darn quick.
Burn, baby, burn. And these Panzer IIs, they're keeping distance away from the armoured rifles and just doing good fire support in this close range engagement. This is where Panzer IIs really shine. And I really do like Eugene's play of moving the armoured rifles behind the buildings so he can wait for the Panzer IIs to get close before
Like that.
popping it with a bazooka. Good micro, yeah. Good micro.
Well, now we are going to have a mortar half track coming in as well. Not really making any kind of real fire support just yet.
Nope.
But I'm a little bit concerned here. So if the Americans are pushed back any further, that mortar half track's going to die super quickly. And what's that mean for the early American play?
Yeah, I mean, early American play, it's third armoured, don't get that much in terms of points, so even if they do lose the town, just as long as they can hold out till C phase, which is quite a while. If they can get till C and not be at too much of a disadvantage, he can just outspam Carolus Rex in terms of Panzers and easily take it. If he is on a good footing, that is.
Oh, he will get on the good foot. He is the land of James Brown, my friend, so I definitely guess a possibility there.
Got more, yeah, 2 more Panzer IIs being brought out. One being
Yep. The
the
Befehle.
command run, the crappy model.
And another Stern Pioneer squad as well.
There's flanks, very quiet. Just a few Panzer Grenadiers and 2 5-1s in there, but no real major pushes from both sides. It's really all about the town.
And do you agree with that play? There's the question.
I'd say so, because once you get out town, it really does open up to the side. Just north of the town, you got all of that open field you can take advantage of. While, a little bit south of it, you got some more hedgerows areas. And it's just a good defensible location with a lot of hedgerows for you to take advantage of to put AA, AT guns, etc.
Now, I will say, at least from my particular perspective, looking at the orchard to the south of the town, there is still that beautiful little cut into the road.
Mm-hmm.
You can use to pretty much cut off the town. I'm wondering why neither player is really trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I just think both are very just focused into the immediate town action, as both sides are trying to micro infantry effectively to their best ability. But now I do have that Stuart being brought out, which will be a good counter to that Panzer II. And the mortar half track is helping out quite a bit, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And even popping in some smoke now. Very interesting.
Now, I admit I am surprised, well, not so surprised at this point, perhaps, but the Germans have taken that entire town. They are giving ground on the flanks a little bit. Their Tigrans being kind of outshot a bit by all those half tracks.
Yeah.
But as these 2 other P2s come into support, are we going to see a rupture in the center, perhaps?
If he can... Well, if he can kill Stuart, that's one thing. He has to get a little bit close to have a chance of penetrating Stuart. And now we have a 6-pounder gun being brought up, or 57mm, my bad. But
Oh,
yeah.
well, as we know, the 57 and the 6-pounder are the same thing.
It's the same
all,
thing, but to be proper nomenclature, the Americans called it the 57mm, but it doesn't really matter. But to both of those things, it may be a little bit difficult to completely rupture the American center. And remember last match when I talked about how I forgot this player name again, needed to get mortar half tracks from 9th Panzer?
Pigeon 222.
Yep.
Beelman, actually, excuse me, but yes.
Pigeon or Mr. Carolus here, he should really think about buying a mortar half track of his own.
Speak of the devil.
Oh, there we go. You can read my mind, buddy, from the future. There you go. There we go. But mortar half tracks, just artillery, you want it, especially for 9th Panzer, because you're going to have to rely on those mortar half tracks to a C phase when you can get the big ass Hummels.
I do say, I am enjoying the fact that we're seeing such calm and collected play out of both players. They're not really they don't want to rush in. They're not really kind of pacing after shots here and there. They're just testing each other a little bit.
Yeah, and they're
Now, if
both.
we got the flanks, oof, there
Oh
goes
yeah,
that P2, but he takes the 60,
yeah.
57 mil at
That's
least.
a good trade. That's a pretty. Yeah, that's a pretty even trade. But yeah, both sides are pretty even in terms of unit diversity. They both have a lot of infantry with half-track support, a lot of light tanks in A phase, a good amount of AT guns. Both very similar units fighting off against one another, and both sides are doing some damn good micro and play because really not much ground has been taken. The main thing is Carolus is getting that very nice slow plus 1 point advantage.
Very, very true. He is also bringing in a Flampanzer as well, so he's bringing in
Yes.
everything that's going to be kind of lighting
hmm
a fire in your heart, it feels
Oh
like.
yeah. Oh yeah. God. Oh yeah.
He's looking to put rounds out on that Stewart. I hope he's not going to try to figure out a way to, shell and then try to pull a surrender out of that. There's too many rifles in the area.
Yeah. Or at least smoke it so you can bring the Panzer II up to give some fire support to knock out the rifles. But it just seems like he's going to be forcing it to fall back at least, and if he can time it right, force the Stuart to fall back and then attack when it's not. Yeah.
I mean, like right now, it's falling back a
Yeah.
little bit, but just not incredibly so.
Yeah, at the same time, the Germans don't have them. Okay, they got 2 Panzergrenadier squads, but they're not in the best position to do an immediate attack. And with that flamethrower half track, I'm guessing he's waiting for that to be on the field to rush in and burn as much as he can.
By the way, to the south, we are going to have a tentative American push coming on out here. Pgrens and is that Spot Troopin?
Yeah,
Spot Troopin facing off with a couple of, basically Recce's and armored leaders here.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little bit concerned for this P1, but he's going to get out of the line of fire before the 57 mil even get to shot off. So,
And
not
really,
too much happening there.
yeah, really at long range, no half tracks to support the Americans, and MG42 trumps all.
Fair enough. P50 coming down to the south, which is kind of interesting to me. The half track that is.
I mean, Scott, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, of course, but now we see a Stewart matching his play down here as well.
That's what I mean about both sides having very similar units. It's funny how they both got pretty much the counterpart to one another immediately.
Well, there's a certain bit of, it's a little bit beautiful about that.
Yeah, it's
half track, a nice,
oof.
beautiful shot from 1,000 meters out.
Damn, good hit, good hit.
We're approaching Phase B, and as we mentioned a couple times already, Germans aren't really making a big push. Americans really aren't making a big push. What do we see in B?
Well, of course, you got the Panzer IV J Spam, 4 and 9th Panzer. Well, Americans, I'm thinking it would be a fantastic unit for the Americans if Yuejin was to save up and buy a jumbo. Because it's not, well, actually, it's not a single unit that Yuejin or Carolus can get that can pen a jumbo from the front. So, I would just be a huge thorn, not in his side, but right in his face. So just having that push over an open field, and if you're not an idiot, you're not going to lose the jumbo.
That always does presuppose, and I'm not calling,
Yeah.
Yuejin by any stretch of the imagination an idiot, but that supposes you're not an idiot, though, too.
Yeah. Or,
And
sometimes you get flanked, and there goes the jumbo. Even Yen, sometimes, there's still has 10 side armor, which is, that's pretty respectable. It's still more than a Panzer IV from the front.
Oh, yeah, which is something that never really sat well with me is how lightly armored the Panzer IVs are by comparison. I know it's historically-ish accurate, but it still bothers me quite a bit.
Yep. Something Germans couldn't get into that sloped armor.
True.
Yep.
True, and it was always riveted, not cast, so that was a big problem, too.
Yep.
But we are into Phase B now. Germans continue to be up 52 to 48, just passing 570 tickets right about now.
Yep.
And, did P4 spam start? Nope, we have a Mortar 3 coming to the top, though.
Yeah, Mortar 3 is definitely going to help out in the long-range engagements, but possibly, pick off that Stuart and other light vehicles. So if he can clear the way up north, just move in both Panzergrenadier squads and try to take as much ground as he can.
Well, Germans were going to try to be a little bit, what's the term I'm looking for, opportunistic, and pushing on in. Might be able to pick off some infantry here and there, but I don't see anything too great really happening too soon.
Yeah. I mean, the town is an absolute slaughter back and forth. But, the Germans just can't make any ground. The Allies, although, or Mr. Yuejin doing just great work with the smoke play, blocking the Panzer II's line of sight.
And what's more, he's bringing up an upgun Sherman as well.
Oh, yeah, we go.
Now, I suppose I'm a little bit wondering for this one. Air power, could that mean something different here or no?
Now both. I wouldn't even be surprised if we don't really see that many planes from either side. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for
Now, we do have a
both.
Scott to the south, which is a little bit interesting. Sorry to distract you
Yeah.
there, but Scott to the south,
Mhm.
very, very strange. 250 went down. And yeah, the southern flank is starting to look a little bit naked for the Germans.
Yeah, you really got that one Panzer run and the Pack 38 riches forward and back. So the Americans could possibly make a burst. I mean, the Stuart and Scott combo will help out quite a bit with finishing up the job and even bringing up some LMG rifles. So it definitely seems like you're going to be gearing for an attack down south.
True, true. It does feel the Germans are trying to consolidate their position in this middle of this town.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking to myself, what a beautiful opportunity it is to go and just shell everything right there.
Oh, look, the Sherman got stunned up by the Panzer too.
I was happy you mentioned that too. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah,
Wounded, wounded, wounded.
that's from the front too. That's pretty impressive. I mean, I guess he wants to rush it up, but armored rifles, yeah, do have a bazooka, so you can't gonna be able to do much.
Martyr 3 is trying to evidence a little bit of opportunity here. Pioneers go down, and infantry is going to find itself pinned in the center. But I think you're right. I think the Americans are gearing up to make a big, big push. And I think they're going to completely wipe out the Germans in that town.
Yeah, I mean, we got the more armored rifles. Sherman's going to be a real thorn in the side to that Panzer IV Drake in common line, and some more Stern Pioneers. Carolus really favouring the Stern Pioneers over the regular Pioneers. And also down south, because once Shatter, we've already got the LMG rifles moving, but that's going to be a very easy place to fully attack. Oh, never
True,
mind.
but if another P4 goes down
Yep.
there at that point, I think you should be
Yeah,
okay.
well, he is.
Yep.
Yep, so... Yep, may stop things for now. So hopefully Eugene can make as much ground as possible. Okay, he's getting 75 Sherman to counter the P4. Doesn't even know it's there yet. This is what I mean. Both sides are just on point, just predicting each other really well. With just unit counters in play. I'm very impressed.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow. 76 mil takes out the P4. Doesn't even get one shot off the poor guy.
or I think I might have been the Stuart Khan.
Oh, to hell with it all. All right. Another upgun Sherman going to the south, and that will deal just fine with the P4 down here.
Yep.
Now, obviously, of course, we have another 6 minutes before the third armor gets really, really a shot in the arm. You know, Americans
Yeah.
do steroids and all that. The Germans really is this when the Germans have to take the game or else?
Yeah, I'd say B phase are definitely when they have to try and make the push happen, because they still get some pretty good units into C phase, especially a Tiger, which can help out a bit, and Yad Panzer especially. But just in terms of economy, the Americans are just going to be pumping in Mr. General Motors and General Motor Company and Ford Motors just coming down the road, just outnumbering the German forces.
He's got to get on his horse soon. I mean, the Germans are nearing about 1/3 of the tickets necessary to convert to a victory here.
Yeah, just as long
But
as they can maybe take a little bit more ground and then just dig into it for defense throughout C phase, that can work rather well.
well, I do want to call out there is a 88 mil.
Damn, that's
He's going
that's a
further
big
to the
boy.
north. Interesting call. All right.
I'm guessing he's just trying to cover out open field essentially. Maybe ward off the Stuart or 76mm gun from poking its head out, as all the half tracks and light vehicles are hidden behind the town, not wanting to fear the wrath of 75 Sherman.
Hidden gives it such a positive spin. I prefer cowering.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Mhm,
And we
mhm.
got one Panzer Grenadier to protect him from all these armored rifles which are being brought up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Armored rifles, though, of course, facing off the P-Grens. P-Grens, I would say, still kind of pick it on off.
Closer range. They're just outnumbered, really. That's the main problem. But the P-Grens can hold rather well because 2 MG42s.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the upgun Sherman. This is where everything dies in the town.
Yeah. Oh, trading shots to the Panzer IV. Panzer IV gets a rep and damaged. And oh no, that's Sherman. He's a goose. He's gonna be falling back.
Just suddenly he realizes he has better things to
Yeah.
do. His mother's calling him, and it's time to go
Yeah.
home.
It's time to go home. Get cleaned up. He's been all dirty from the battle.
Indeed, indeed.
And the
And more P4s are coming on in. So I don't. This is a weak pincer coming on in? I think it is. A very, very weak pincer, but still a weak pincer is better than nothing.
a solo Panzer pincher.
Ha!
Or an SPP.
Oh man, I was gonna try to beat you to that, but you beat me to it. Stewart is pounding away at that poor P4 as he comes outside, and the 76 mil is out of AP ammo, which is a small mercy.
No,
Of
it's
course, HE. Thank you. I'm sorry. AP ammo though, he can start using it, and there goes a half track already, and I think he is going to stop any breakout from this town.
Yeah, it's just the Germans are choke pointed in that run road, and all American guns and artillery is facing it. Both sides using smoke really effectively. The Yuejin blocking the Panzers and vehicles from shooting down the road, while Carolus is blocking the 76mm guns line of sight. Which that's good play, guys. That's really good play.
Now, what I don't agree with is the fact that the Befehle Panzer II is being thrown so far forwards. I think that was kind of a giant mistake.
Yeah,
there. But,
yeah. There's no cover because it surrendered, yeah, but it could have just got blown up by the armored rifles.
Now, 2 minutes to go until Phase C. So, have the Germans done what they needed to do to win out, or no?
They're at 1,000-point advantage, which is a pretty cussy point advantage to have, especially if only 21 minutes left in the match, potentially.
Sorry, did you call it a pretty cussy?
I was meant to say comfy.
Ah, I thought you said cussy. I was like, I've never heard that before. Interesting.
Yeah, but they're a good point. They're still at the plus run. It's only a 1% map advantage, but just as long as they can defend and not even do any crazy attacks, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good.
Sounds about right. In the meantime, interestingly enough, Flampanzer's trying to trade machine gun fire with half track, which just seems like a wet noodle contest here. And we're seeing 2 more Flampanzers being brought on in, actually. It looks like he's desperate to clear out this entire town for the last little bit.
I'd love to see him rush all 3 Flampanzers at the same time and just try to burn everything.
Well, it's kind of interesting. Great. He would be able, I would think, with just one burst of fire from each one of them to force surrenders, to force suppressions, and then that would be...
Yeah, it would work. It would work, Khan. It would be so crazy to see. It'd be like a Grand Theft Auto drive-by shooting.
True, I was just going to say, it's just crazy enough to work. It might just do it.
But instead of going around Los Santos with some Uzis, you got some German guys on the back of a half-track with flamethrowers in Normandy 1944.
It's about the same thing, really, when you think about it. Potato,
both are war zones, so yeah, we go.
But here we are, 20 seconds left to go. Germans are going to have themselves a good 1,150 point advantage here.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm just seeing his half tracks come up because if the smoke as well, it's just the perfect opener to just rush in with the flamethrower half tracks, and all the American units are stunned right now.
German drang, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to check down to the south. Did the Germans have anything really surviving down there? Yes, the P4 is still alive, the Befehle Panzer is still alive, and their infantry is still there as well. And I think Yuejin has now decided it is time to do a attack move here. Shots pinging off that upgun Sherman from the Pak 38. I'm not sure he's going to be able to penetrate here.
Nope. Nope. Yeah. Pak 38.
And he perishes valiantly.
So it's really going to be about the Panzer IV-J, getting a good ambush shot on that Sherman. Same with that Panzer Run. It's in a good position to wait for something to come around the hedgerow and blow it up.
Pop a squat?
Yeah. Pop a squat.
Be interesting to me for him if he can take out that M8, I think I would probably die a happy man.
Yeah.
Flampanzers in the meantime, well, they're in the area, but I'm not sure how effective they're going to be trying to exchange machine gun fire.
Here's the tip when you use Flampanzers. Just fast move. Don't even attack move. Just fast move. It's pretty hard to miss with a flamethrower.
Just get into the teeth of them and they go from there.
I mean, how fast do you go? You go 70 kilometers an hour. That's pretty good. That's relatively fast. You can just zip on by, burn everything, and call it a day once you force everything to surrender. And there's no real, like, there's only one bazooka squad here, really, or two, but...
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. If they can take out those two squads right there,
And the
as
Sherman.
well as that Sherman.
They're good. They're good.
Yes, they are.
But he's going to be using them more on the defensive role. The mortar getting killed by the 76mm gun. Not the best way to trade shots, yeah, buddy.
I was just kind of wondering if that Flak 88 was going to be able to take him out, though, was a question. We're seeing kind of a gutsy rush. Oh, not gutsy rush. I thought that 234 is going to be really, really pounding on in, but he thinks better of it.
Yeah, that's smart. Just keep it back. No need to rush in. Surprisingly, he's using
is
the,
now getting himself a +1. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's pretty surprising he's using the Mark III model over the Mark 1. I mean, it's not like a huge disadvantage, but I see a lot of players that take the autocannon version instead of the howitzer
Point and
version.
shoot.
The howitzer version of the 234.
But this is the howitzer variant of a Puma, essentially, yes?
Yeah. It's a Puma, but without the Puma part.
There goes one of the anti-tank squads, by the way. That's gone down, which means that there is one thing left that the Germans have to be worried about in the center part of the field here.
Yeah, and I really just want to see his half-tracks rush.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I wish it would, but it's not going to happen.
Or else I could really just take control of the game right now and just fast move it.
Well, Extreme Pioneers are getting forced into a little bit of quiescence here.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough as well, so Engineers throwing out a demo charge. Boom, a little bit half track. There we go.
There we go. Good hit.
Always amused whenever something like that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's really satisfying. You ever play Men of War Soul Squad?
A long time ago.
I always found it so satisfying getting a anti-tank grenade off perfectly onto a tank engine.
That's fair.
That's
such a good feeling.
Right there. Such a good feeling. Even better when he manages to throw frag grenade down the hatch of a tank.
That's just a 1 in a million shot, though. Like, that just seems like it's so difficult to do.
It's so difficult, but when you get it, it's just pure bliss. What else is pure bliss? Is this Flampanzer just shutting off anything that tries to come round the corner.
True.
Half-tracks come round, they get burnt. Engineers come round, they get burnt. So at least they're doing something.
Quite a crazy suntan for sure. Now, Yuejin is pushing in the south, though, and if this P4 does, then this entire southern flank is gone.
Oh, yeah. That's not good. And you got 76 Sherman, too, for long-range fly support. So that's really going to be kind of a hard death ball, quotation marks, to really penetrate if he can't deal with that right now. His Panzer IV just north of that could potentially pop a shot or two.
That's fairly accurate, but I don't think that there's going to be a lot of adventurism coming here from Carolus Rex, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
Because the 9th Panzer really is an aggressive deck.
Yeah, definitely. So you get in their face, that's really how you play it. You can't be affording to fight long-range attrition battles.
Or even static defensive battles.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, honestly, that I know I need to get better with, is having a moving defense. Very often, I know for me, I just kind of go, I find a place to sit down, and I plop there until they die, or I'm forced to fall back.
Yeah, the best defense is really an offense in this game. Just forcing your opponent to react to you and rot you by is the best way to really defend your flank instead of you reacting to every unit that your opponent brings up.
I would like to see this proboscis in the south to be kind of closed up a bit. Germans, tell me at least a little bit of one squad of infantry. You control 4 or 5% of the map pretty darn quick. But I think we've seen the beginning of the end here for the Germans.
I know. You're at this point advantage still. It's gonna be a tie essentially. And
yeah, but do you really believe that's going to happen with this? I mean, Germans have like no infantry, which is completely blowing my mind.
Yeah, I'm guessing he had all his infantry in A and B and didn't take many of the C phase cards, so he's pretty much certain now.
One of the P4s in the center goes down. I imagine another one will go down in a second as well. Flak 88 gets taken out by this mortar half-track. Germans have 2 units in the north, 2 light tanks. They have 4 half-tracks and a tank in the center, and yeah, a P4 and a half-track in the south. This is going to be pretty much over here, and this is a surprise victory here.
Yeah, that's really... Yuejin just managed to build up his armored force, essentially, and he kept it alive all through A, and he penetrated where Carolus was the weakest, and that was down south, and now there's nothing here to stop him at all.
Yeah,
There's nothing. There's literally nothing.
Oh no, the entire thing's going to get... These guys are going to get surrounded. Don't let your troops get surrounded. That's the ultimate insult.
Break out by fast-moving flank panzers, please.
Yes, yes. Honestly, I feel like all three of those guys would have been able to take out everything against them.
They did nothing. Well, one of them did something, but the other two did really nothing. Not that much.
Well, one of them hasn't even fired.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and Carolus Rex hasn't even brought in any supply trucks either, so no problem there.
Yeah. I think what really hurt Carolus this match is he was a bit careless on the southern flank. He really sort of got... No, he really sort of got like a Yad Panzer at least to hold the open ground, because that's pretty impenetrable, quotation mark, against German AT guns at long range, or American AT guns at long range. And yeah, it goes Carolus, and that's a GG. And just look at the KD.
Well, the KD though, how much of that stuff happened in the last like 2 minutes of the game? Okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, the last 5 minutes, you're still at, we're still talking 500 tickets.
Yeah,
400 tickets.
A phase is pretty even back and forth between American half tracks, and well, he did lose quite a lot of Panzers and more expensive units during the initial parts of A phase, while Mr. Yuejin didn't really lose his first infantry unit till 9 minutes in, essentially. And damn, yeah, he's just lost a lot of those Panzer IVs because Panzer IVJs don't do well in open fights. And it was really a delaying tactic in that town. He lost everything. He lost all his infantry. He ran out of infantry. He lost the town. He couldn't keep. He had to keep spending money reinforcing the town, so he couldn't defend the south side. South side broke through. GG.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
So tell me then, what is the takeaway for your 9th Panzer friends out there?
So in this example, in this match, he had a pretty good defense in the town, but he needed to just be more aggressive on all the flanks. He didn't really do that much up north. He had a good force to do something up north. He could have potentially broke through in the middle at some points, and down south, he probably couldn't have broke through because it's so bloody open. But he needed at least a Pack 40. I'm just thinking a Pack 40 down here would at least help quite a bit. But he was completely... He had that one Panzer IV, and that was it. And once that big armor blob happened and C phase hits, just did not go that well for Mr. Carolus. And he couldn't get as much map control yet he could during the initial 20-minute advantage that he had.
That makes a sad sort of sense here.
Yeah, but at the same time, both players were pretty good just in terms of the micro. Just really good micro from both sides. Just Carolus bled a little bit too much. There's a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, and a hell of a lot of blood.
Thank you very much for keeping that, a little more safe for our recordings here. I almost heard something coming out there.
No. I was going to say fudge cakes.
There we go. Exactly. So fudge cake loads all over the place, folks. Yeah. Any other things? Any other thoughts from you today there, Rang?
I'm good.
Okay, sounds about great. All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning on in. Congratulations to Yuejin for the big W, and shame to Carolus Rex for the kind of an L on his forehead there. That'll do it today for us. I'm Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rang Roo. Take it easy.